Boom, boom, boom. Oh, hello there. It's been a while. I'm just fiddling, do a little bit of fiddling. There we go. I'm gonna tell you right now, right off the bat. Hello, first of all. Second, I don't remember how to do this. Probably. Third, well, you know what? I'll just give you the disclaimers. First, not all disclaimers. Again, I don't remember what I'm doing. There are new things. I've made some updates. Basically, I had some of this furniture just in here because I was just using these guys, which you can't really see right now because I don't have it set up. These like shelves, and I had these guys with the whatever. That was part of it. It was just part of a set. Like people, you get these cheap. It's great. The problem is moving it. I was able to move it at the time. I had a friend who had a trailer. But they're like, yeah, I'll help you out. And so I was like, yeah, cool. And that's how this originally came to be. Finally, it was like, I'm going to put these here. And then the green screen, I'll show you. Okay, there's another, get excited. What? There's another camera angle. This I got like, oh boy, it was at least a year ago for Black Friday. That's the one. And it was so cheap. And I just didn't have a use for it. I was just like, I know I'm going to need it someday. I know it's going to happen. And so now I have it here, which is great. But the problem is this glass behind me, the green from the screen would just bounce right into it, and it made everything crazy. So I'm like, I gotta, oh, hello. Sorry. I gotta change it back to not green. And I was like, what do I want? I'll make it this nice blue. I'll get some, well, okay. Originally, this was in a different room. Because I'm like, I'll have two locations because this is the green screen. And I'm like, it can't be a green screen anymore. So then I moved this. And it's got stuff on it. I'll explain the stuff. But if we look here, we have this. So if I need a green screen, I got a green screen. I just don't need a green screen right now. Oh, okay. Things, okay. Calm down. This is actually the original green screen from my first studio setup when I was in Seattle. So I get to reuse it. Yay! We're recycling old things. Hi, everyone. The first 10 minutes, by the way, it's going to be me rambling. The rest is going to be me rambling, but hopefully in a more focused and direct fashion. But on topic with the sorry. Hi, everyone. First 10 minutes. I'm going to be saying hi. Let people gather in. Be rambling. I want to give you a little taste of that. This isn't really going to be designed to be viewed after the fact. They never are. It's all about the interactions. However, I do hope that I can use this as B-roll footage for a much bigger project. This is part of a much bigger project. But to finish that project, I have to unredact some FBI files, and those FBI files have to do with UFOs. It's really cool. There are about 1,000 of these things. I'll get into it at the 10-minute mark around then, hopefully. The Train of Truth is, in theory, active, and it also has its own camera angle. It is the old, emphasis on old, camera that used to be here for like 3 episodes, and I was just like, that's not going to work. That was the sort of the top-down view. So now that's there. So in theory, that triggers on, and listen, if you're feeling incredibly generous, and you do not have to be this generous, I'm doing this for fun. If I were doing this for money, I'd be doing it differently. But I do enjoy it. It does generate a small amount of income. And if you, in your individual capacity, have a desire to contribute to that, first of all, thank you so much. It doesn't have to be that much. The idea was people were already doing it, and I was like, I want there to be a reward, I guess. And so then I got this train, which if it happens, you'll see. If you don't know what it is. If you do know what it is, it's still there. It's still doing its thing. I actually replaced the engine with a different, oh no. Judy, 20 months. That's so long. Thank you so much for being a member. I forgot it does that. It's the accent's randomized. Didn't become a member, just use their membership chat. If you remember this channel, first of all, I'm hoping to add stuff to it for just the members. But you get a free super chat that's basically the equivalent value, I believe, of the membership itself. So that's what that was. Thank you, Judy. But yeah, that and that and that, and I'm gonna have to remember how all this works. I'm not saying I'm coming back every Friday like I used to, but I need to get this done so I can do this big project. And I figured if I'm gonna do it anyway, you might as well have you guys here. And also, I want some B-roll footage of me doing it, so in case I need it for the bigger project. It's gonna be like a multi-video series, we hope. But yeah. Question is, will I be having my after YouTube party tonight? Probably not. I have some stuff I got to do tomorrow morning. Nothing crazy. I just accepted an invitation that I'd prefer to be, that I'm excited about. Don't get me wrong. I'm excited about it. Oop, sorry. I'm excited about it. We'll get to this later, what this is, if it clicks. There it is. But no, I have to be, or I probably should be in the correct mindset and not suffering an allergy or allergic reaction to apple juice. This is seltzer. Calm down. Let me see what the old Shanna's doing. Hello everyone. Hello. Yes, hello. Hi. Oh, yeah. Haven't seen me in years. Well, I've been here, just not for like the last year. Metro State badge still there. Yes, so we got that thing. This can't really see it, but it is the negative 37 license plate. I got a lot of stuff out here that I enjoy. You can't see all of it, unfortunately. I'll have to reconfigure the camera. But I got the stuffed animal, Blue Bacon PD, little gorilla there. I got stuff. I got a piano. Play you some tunes. I don't know how well you can hear that. Check the old audio mixer. Oh, you can hear that. Or if I want to get really crazy. Nope. Anyway. Something to do. All right. Where was I? War Salute! It's been a while. By the way, Blue, my wife isn't allowed to watch you with me anymore. She said she wanted to trade me in for you, so it's that or an honor duel, and I choose life. Smart. Wait. Smart. Smart. Sorry, I forgot I had that angle there. Let's see. At a baseball game, we'll have to watch later. Well, Catman, do you enjoy your baseball game? Because this will be re-watchable, presumably. Unless it won't be. Whoa, I have no reason to believe it won't be. Don't listen to me. Let me go. Are we at 10-minute mark? Nope. I still got. Oh God. Oh, my entire thing is freaking out. Strong emphasis on if the audio starts getting weird, let me know, and there will be a delay. And Kathleen, thank you so much. Says love seeing your handsome face again. Oh, go stop it. Wait, this face, this one right here, or maybe this one. Oh, you're too kind. The foot pedals are still there. I love it. You do not have to get me that goat. How dare you? I already have this. Thank you, Judy. Spooks me every time. All right. Oh, we got 1 minute. 1 minute for everyone to trickle in. We are at 37 viewers. A great number. A great number. For reasons that some of us know. I didn't expect to have any. It's been so long, and I announced this incredibly late. And by announced it, I mean I didn't really. I just scheduled it 20 minutes beforehand. So, you know. But yes, it's good to be back. I've missed this. It's just a matter of timing and topics, and so now I'm dropping the amount that I was doing. I mean, obviously, because I haven't been doing it, and then I've been looking into these much bigger things, I suppose, which take my God, and I'm like the Hunting the Dead thing with Gary Ridgway. COVID killed that so hard. I am not done with it. I want it to happen, but this I can do during the winter, maybe. Although there's some stuff I want to film next summer, because there are some like related festivals to all of this, and I kind of want to get in on some of that for footage and shenanigans, just in case. But a lot of it can be filmed year round, whereas the Hunting the Dead stuff has to be during the summer. The problem is, during the summer, I'm doing my annual training. I have to find the other people that I want to get involved in it. I have to remember what my scripts and my processes and ideas were, and like it was all ready to go. And I filmed an episode of the finding the missing Gary Ridgway victim bodies. Didn't find any, probably won't. And then everything got locked down, and it just sort of killed it. And I want to go back. Once this is done, hopefully it lets me get back into that bigger thing. I've done some traveling, and while I was traveling, it was not related to this channel, the traveling, but I was like, all right, if I'm traveling, I might as well go find the cool stuff during my travels. So what I want to do for that, what I'm thinking about doing as just like a time saver, is I want to stream me recording the video, and I just take that stream and edit it down into the video with all the extra stuff added. So I'll use this board. I want to get this out of the way so I can take this board down, put the new stuff on it, and then when I actually do this project for real, I'll be adding it as I go, as I make the video. But for the travel stuff, I have pictures, and I'll print them out and put them there and be like, this, and this statue, or all this. Yeah, a statue in a graveyard in Montpelier is cursed. You'll die if you sit on its lap. That is a thing that I made a video on. Or I will make. I recorded all of them, and then the audio was bad, and now I'm going to re-record all of them. And I don't just want to. I'm very annoyed about it, because they all kind of have to be released at the same time. I know I'm past the 10-minute mark, but now you got me on a tangent. So I love that angle there. It's going to be so fun. Now I'm just like frustrated, because some of them, this will be the third time I filmed them, because I did it all in one batch, like 6 to 8 to 10 videos. I don't remember how many. And I'm just like, do I want to? Like, I'm gonna do them again, but I don't want to do them again, because my brain's just like, oh, you know. So I'm thinking about making that the stream, not this one. This one's this, and that way I can be more motivated to actually get back and do it for some of them the third time. Annoying stuff, but yes. One of them does involve a goat, by the way. One of those videos. Okay, Lemon Tart. Have you heard the one about the... Hold on, actually. Have you heard the one about the... where was it? About the pirate boxer. He's got a mean left hook. Funny. What else I got? What's a pirate's favorite Beatles song? Blackbeard singing in the dead of night. Arr. Shame on you. But Reverend Jared, see you later. All right, that's enough of that. Shall we get into this? Do we want to figure out what this is all about? Let me make sure that audio isn't bad with how loud that was and how loud I am. So I'll wait a few seconds. By that I mean like 20. And then we'll explain. It's not going to be explained well. It's just I have a script for when I make the real thing, like the real videos, that go sort of chronologically through the thing. But not for this. Oh boy, I missed a joke. All right. A pirate walks into a bar with a paper towel tucked partially under his hat. The bartender says to him, "Oi, what's that?" The pirate responds, "Arr, I've got a bounty on me head." First of all, shame on you. That's pretty good, though. I like that. Anyway, all right. Realsies, though. Audio's good, just a little quiet. Swoop. How's that? Better? Yeah, it should be. Hold on. Wait. Hit. Hoo. Sorry, am I clipping at all? Just making noise. That's how I check. I just make loud noises. Because who knows if I'm going to start shouting into the microphone. Bah! Right? Bah! I have to know if that's going to clip. Better. Better. Okay. Okay. Let's get into this. The Maury Island incident. If you don't know what this is, neither did I when I started looking into it. I was like, oh, what can I do that's going to be easy? You know, that's local. Because I was like, oh, there's travel. If I just like go to places near me and I'm like, here's a thing. And it's just like, you know, me with my phone and I don't have to do all this editing. I hate editing and post. Not that I hate it. I just really enjoy this part of it more. But I don't like the quality of the product as much here compared to like when it's edited. Because it's edited. Of course, it's better. So like, I want to go to these places, have a script that I read here, and then have the other footage of the place and me in it, and maybe I have things to say there. Who knows? I've been watching a lot of Expedition Unknown. I love Expedition Unknown. Like, oh, I love it so much. So it's sort of, if you ever seen that, there's times where he's like in his office, and then there are times he's out and about, except I don't have a camera crew or, you know, a producer or a director. I am all of those things. So makes it more challenging, but you know, I keep it simple, whatever. But I want more of that because it means I don't have to do as much in the editing part of it, because I don't like that as much. I can't afford an editor because this doesn't make much money. And I would feel incredibly bad being like, sorry, dude, you did a lot of work, but like 2 people watched it. So, you know, anyway, I was like, this is going to be a simple little thing. Oh, the Maury Island UFO? Okay, whatever. Like, there's a military base right nearby. It's probably that, like Area 51. A lot of that was just the U-2 spy plane. People were like, a plane couldn't fly that high. It's like, that was the point of the U-2. That's why they kept it so secret. They didn't want anybody to know how high it could go. Because if the highest plane you know of goes 58,000 feet, then your anti-air only has to go up to 60,000. But then, I'm back. Then, if you want to avoid the anti-air, you go up to 70,000. But you don't want the your enemies or your adversaries to know about that, because then they update their missiles. So, you know, things like that. I assume. I've never worked on the U-2. I don't. You know, cool plane. But yeah, so a lot of Area 51, the sightings in the 50s, was just cool new planes that we take for granted now, but like at the time were considered impossible. So my thought was, I'm going to look into this and it's going to be like, yeah, JBLM. And then maybe I can request permission to like go on to JBLM and talk to some people there, because I know people there. But it turns out that's not going to be necessary because this thing is huge. This is the, come here. This is the origin of just about everything you know about UFOs. And it is the origin of flying saucers as a concept. So everything that is a saucer, like the Space Needle, or I presume the Star Trek ships, although Roddenberry, the guy who made Star Trek, didn't want it to be a saucer, but it still has a saucer. Like, the Enterprise has a saucer that detaches from the rest of it, so I presume that's related to it. Frisbees! The marketing for Frisbees was based on this, because the fact that this happened. Now, this is not, the saucer thing is not Maury Island per se. It's what predated that, although in theory it didn't. Oh, it's complicated, which is why I have a board. It gets weird. I'll give you some of the timeline stuff, because I'm already Men in Black. It's the origin of Men in Black. I'm sorry. Okay, timeline. So let me just skip. Bloop. This guy. That's Kenneth Arnold. Kenneth Arnold was a pilot in a little mountain bush plane kind of thing. I think he worked for the Forestry Service, maybe. I don't remember. It's not going to be. Sorry. Let me bring this back down. Nope, that way. All right. He was flying around Mount Rainier in 1947. Late June. There's a downed military aircraft, and there was a reward if he found it of like $5,000, which was a lot of money back then. I want to say that's about $8,000. I have the calculations here. 5,000. Oh, it's about $70,000 today. So yeah, if you're flying around the mountain anyway, you know, you might as well check, because if you see it and you're like, yep, got the location, that's a cool $70K. Not too shabby if you're already there, right? So he's flying around and he sees something weird. He sees this flash of light, like, oh God, oh no, is there another airplane nearby? You gotta check to make sure you don't crash into them. That would be bad. So he's looking and he sees a flashlight again, sees what he's looking for. It is a string of, I think, 9 objects. Well, a string. It's 9 objects flying in formation. And they are moving, and he describes it like the tail of a Chinese kite, I believe. Let me check my notes. Yeah, the tail of a Chinese kite, almost as if they were chained together. And he actually drew a picture of them, which I have. He made some variations on this image, but the early version of it, if I can get out of the way, is this guy right here, which you can't see very well. If I take this off, yeah, bring it to you. This. So, you know, like a, hold on, boop, boop, boop. That helps. Also, look at this little pin. Look how adorable that is. Can't see it very well. Doesn't matter. All right, moving on. It's all right. Forgive. We're just gonna put that back there. Wait for it. Nailed it. All right. So he saw that. He described it as we've just described it. And he also said that it was, and I will find the quote here, that they moved as if a saucer would if you skipped it across the water. And then the media's like, flying saucer, you say? And he's like, no. I said they moved like that. And the media's like, they look like saucers. And he's like, no, they move like if you was like skipping a saucer. Like if you took a cup. I have a saucer somewhere around here. Yeah. Well, that's just like a small plate. Bear with me, because I have one. Sometimes I smash cups for fun, but then I was like, oh, these are actually kind of nice, and then I didn't smash these. So I have cups and matching saucers. So we're just gonna pretend these plates are saucers. These ones are wrapped up in saran wrap. So like, if you took one of these and you just, across water and it skipped, that's what they moved. So they were, moving like that. But no, now they're shaped like that too. But we know they're not shaped like that because we saw the picture, which I am in the way of. And then he adjusted it so it looked even less like that. But that could just be his memory failing. For the purposes of my video, it has to have looked like that. Because I've solved it. I am confident. I know what he saw. I'm very, very confident I know what he saw. Based on his initial writings and drawings and statements. Later on, it changed. I'm not paying attention to that. I'm paying attention to this. And I think I've solved it. But that's not the Maury Island incident. See, Arnold, up there, he's like, oh, what on earth is that? It's going between Mount Rainier and Mount Adams, which I have. Let's see. I have it up here. I got my map. Hopefully you can hear me. Yeah. He was about here. You can't see any of this, I know. But you got Mount Rainier and Mount Adams. Mount Adams. And so we saw, you can't, it doesn't matter. I don't know why I'm up here. He's like, all right, they're going behind Mount Rainier. Stopwatch, right? They go behind Mount Adams. Stopwatch. We know the distance between those two mountains. So you can calculate the speed by the distance over time. And the speed he calculated, based on his observations that they went behind those mountains, was, I have it here somewhere, about 1,400 miles per hour. That's fast. Nothing at the time, no manned aircraft flew that fast. There were some missiles, but they didn't fly in formations like that. And one of the objects in this line of objects was a different size, almost like maybe that was like a tracking missile. But missiles didn't have that kind of tracking technology at the time. And like we know, okay, at the time you wouldn't know this. Like maybe they're developing some crazy secret thing. But like we know what they were doing now because it's 80 years later almost. And there's no record of anything that could have done that. So when Arnold landed and he's talking to these other pilots, like, have anyone seen anything like this? That was weird. And they're like, nah, maybe missiles. He's like, yeah, okay, that's fair because they didn't know. They didn't know what was happening with missiles those days. Sorry, the comments. He just like, okay, whatever. And then the news finds out and they're like, we must know more. But like Arnold doesn't know more. He's just like, yeah, whatever. I saw something weird. Thank you, Sue Bear. Says, good day, Blue. I am having fun at summer camp. I am glad you are. That sounds delightful. I'm having fun in my garage. What just happened? Why did my lights change? You see that? It's weird. Anyway, also Iceblade, thank you so much. Says the truth is out there. I don't know. You're probably. I'm thinking Twilight Zone. You're probably thinking X-Files. I don't know the X-Files theme on piano. I did once. And I was like, maybe it'll come back to me. It didn't. So anyway, sorry. So Arnold's. It's like, whatever. And then the next day, like, everyone's at his door going, what do you see? Tell us more. And he's just like, whoa. Is it really that big of a deal? No, I'm good. Thanks. And he goes back inside, I assume, and goes, maybe this is a big deal. Should I tell the Army about this? Because at the time, you didn't have the Air Force. You had the Army Air Corps. And he reaches out to the Army, and they're like, oh, yeah, we got 2 guys. I want you to use to them. You can't see them very well. Frank Brown and William Davidson. They are Army intelligence officers in the, I believe, Army Air Corps, based out of California. And they come over to, I think, Boise. I have the notes. I just don't, I'm pretty sure they come to Boise to say hi to him. They're like, all right, tell us what's going on. And he's like, yes, I will tell you what's going on. I saw this thing. And they're like, how very fascinating. We have no idea what that is. And I actually believe that they didn't have any idea of what it was. Not every person in the military knows every other thing in the military. When you have someone on a show and they go, oh, yes, I was in the CIA. Like, not everyone in the CIA knows everything that's happening in the CIA or the FBI or the military. So, like, even with a top secret clearance, you're still limited to the things you need to know, right? I worked with people who had top secret clearances when I worked with CID as a counter-narcotics investigator. They had top secret clearances. I did not. Their top secret clearances allowed them to access like crime-related things. They weren't getting into the nitty-gritty of UFOs. There would have been red flags. It's not an all-access pass. I presume. I don't think it is. So I would very easily believe that Frank and William did not know what this was, but were curious. And everyone's like, whatever, cool. And then everyone and their mother was like, oh, any strange thing I see in the sky is now a saucer. It's a disc. And they start contacting the FBI. And I don't want to get too into detail. I don't want to give anything too crazy away. Not that it isn't already pretty well hashed out, except for the ending that I have, because I have solved it. FBI starts getting involved. That's what we're going to unredact today. We hope. I think I have enough information to do it with pretty good certainty. Before we get into that, though, I do want to bring up Raymond Palmer. Raymond Palmer published a magazine called, I think, Amazing Stories out of Chicago. He looks like a child. You can't see it very well. You will in the actual video that come out. Interesting looking guy. Not saying that's a bad thing. But he runs this magazine that publishes stories, some of which are very difficult to believe, but, people read it, whatever. And then you have Harold Dahl, and I'll scooch me down right here. You got Harold Dahl, who's up here, and then Fred Krisman. Now, these 2 guys lived in Tacoma, which is somewhere on that map. And they reach out to Raymond, and they're like, hey, we have an interesting thing that we'd like to report. He's like, what is it? Is it related to the flying saucers? They're like, yes, actually. It is. We saw like a mothership and the little baby ships. I don't actually know what the terminology would be. I'm not a ufologist. And one of them like almost crashed, and we have actual fragments of it. Can you test these fragments? He goes, yeah, send it to me. But also, I'm going to send someone to interview you. And they're like, okay. And so Raymond here is like, hey, Kenneth, you wanna go down to Tacoma and talk to these guys? And initially, Kenneth, just like, ooh, not, no, I'm not a super. I'm kind of like, it's too weird now. And Raymond's like, wouldn't you like to know? Like, these guys might be able to help you solve it. And Kenneth's just like, that would be nice. And then Raymond's like, also, I'll pay you. And, you know, some combination of these offers, what just happened? What was that? What just happened? You all saw that, right? Oh, Chorkies, that wasn't because you subscribed. I don't remember setting that up. We'll keep an eye on it. What was that? Anyway, totally distracted me. So Kenneth's like, yeah, cool, whatever. And he goes down, he talks to these guys, and that's the Maury Island incident, which was like a little crazier because then these two guys, the intelligence officers, they died in a fiery plane crash in a B-25 bomber. That's why that's there. Oh boy, I don't want to give you too much detail, but like it gets weird. But I'm pretty sure all of it was a hoax. I'm pretty sure these two guys just straight up lied, and it got way out of hand, and then 2 people died. So that's what we're going to deal with. That's what we're going to try to unredact. It's the FBI document detailing the interrogation/interview of these 2 gentlemen. And I have a book here that on my screen that is The Coming of Saucers. It's a book that was written by Kenneth Arnold and published and edited, I believe, by Raymond Palmer. And it has a lot of really good details that stay very consistent. And I'm like in newspaper articles, in FBI interviews, in everything, in I believe their report, the information is very, very consistent. So I'm willing to trust that information, and is very detailed. And I think with that, we can unredact this. But before we do, we have a joke from Lemon Tart. What do you call it when the Air Force tries to convince UFO witnesses they saw a natural phenomenon? Swamp gaslighting. That's pretty okay. I like that. That's a good one. Seal of approval. Let me keep anything else crazy going on? Vince says, I want to go to boy camp, but they said 49 is too old. Yeah, probably. Probably yes. Best tread carefully, though. Lots of unexplained things are observed by deeply flawed bags of wet meat. This does not automatically mean things are being covered up. Yes, I have. There's going to be a part of my series of videos that covers that. Because a lot of this might be explainable as humans are easily convinced of things, the power of suggestion, etc., poor memories, whatever. But I digress. Hi, everyone. It's good to have you all here. So, pants. I try to be not, but not on Twitch. I'm not as much. Okay, Benjamin soft flying saucer once. Fair enough. Okay. The FBI documents. Boop. So, this is part 5 of, I believe, 16 parts that were released by the FBI in, I want to say, 2016. And let me scooch me back up here for a second there. I believe in total it's about 1,000 pages, like over 1,000 pages. This one is 74 pages, this little chunk here. And this is the one that has what I want to look at today. And if I scroll down, and I'll let you see what I'm scrolling down through. Boop, 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 boop. Yeah, a lot of this difficult to read. But this is what I'm looking for. Not difficult to read. It is August 18th, 1947 from Seattle, Washington. It is the Federal Bureau of Investigations, Director, FBI. Dear Sir, the following in general are the facts regarding the flying disc story that started by Redacted, which subsequently resulted in news stories by the Tacoma Times, the Boise Statesman, and the Chicago Times that a B-25 carrying Army intelligence officers was shot down or sabotaged over Kelso, Washington on August 1st, 1947, because it was carrying some flying disc fragments. I told you this entire thing gets really, really weird. That's why these guys are here, plus the B-25, which, yeah. There were... When this was shot, when this crashed, when it went down, someone called some newspapers and said it was shot down. They called before, I believe, there was a public press release, which is definitely, like, from the Army, definitely very weird. Again, Army Air Corps. Air Force wasn't a thing yet. When was the Air Force? We're going to check that real quick, if you don't mind. September 18th. Okay, so the following month, basically, from when all of this happened. Well, from when this document went out. Good to know. Okay, so I was curious. So, following in general are the facts regarding the flying disc story that started by... I mean, that's too long to be a single name. So I'm thinking that this will be... I can't zoom on it well enough. I'm thinking it's going to be Harold Dahl, Fred Krisman, and Kenneth Arnold. So let's try putting that in there. Let's do... and Fred Krisman. And let's... Do we think... And then we'll make myself a little note here. Be like, I don't know exactly what they're putting in there, but it should be some sort of variation of that. Great, which subsequently resulted, etc., etc., etc. The original story, as related by Redacted, was to the effect that Redacted, while patrolling in his boat near Maury Island, Washington, okay, you'll all find out. But that has to be Harold Dahl or Fred Krisman. They were the ones that reported the Maury Island thing. They said they saw it before Kenneth Arnold saw his thing, but they didn't report it until afterwards. There are reasons that that's a little suspicious. We don't need to go into that at this time. But I think this redaction is both of them. I think it's going to be... Because of this, I think this is going to be Dahl at the end. So I think it's going to be Fred Krisman and Harold. Now, see... This can't be that size, so it has to be... Oh, boy. Okay, so if that's not Kenneth Arnold, Harold Dahl, and Fred Krisman, yeah, exciting stuff, right? I think it's going to have E.J. Smith in there. So I think it's just going to be maybe last names. E.J. Smith, sorry, that was the wrong camera angle. E.J. Smith over here, he's a pilot that also maybe saw something. And Kenneth Arnold was like, hey, do you want to come with me? Because we're all curious. And he did. So you'll learn all about that in the future. But if we make this Arnold, Smith, Krisman, and Dahl, and then we put a little... Oh, man, that wouldn't make sense. Or maybe it's Kenneth Arnold of Boise, Idaho. Ultimately, that's not going to matter too much, but it could be that. Related by Fred Krisman and Harold, and then this is going to be Dahl, because that's what would fit there. What's the effect that I assume Dahl? Let me check my notes to see if it was Dahl or Krisman who first saw it, allegedly. Sorry, give me a second. Going through my notes here. Yeah, it was Dahl. It was Harold Dahl's the one who allegedly saw it, reported it to Krisman, who was his boss, and they're both like, "Yeah, we saw. We have all these metal fragments now." So, doesn't the new iPhone have an unredact feature? I wish. So, all right. Dahl, while patrolling his boat near Maury Island, Washington, sighted 6 flying discs, one of which fluttered to the earth and disintegrated. It's not entirely what he said. I think it started to fall to the earth, and bits were falling off of it, and then it managed to fly away. I don't think it fell to the earth and disintegrated. But he did claim, he being Dahl, that it showered his boat with fragments, which caused some damage to the boat and killed his dog. And then it's going to be another... Okay, this is going to be Raymond Palmer. And let me fix that. Okay. It's either going to be Harold Dahl, Fred Krisman. Let's say it's Harold Dahl fit. Okay. I mean, it was either Harold Dahl or Fred Krisman who wrote a letter to Raymond Palmer. I know this because I have the book, Coming of Saucers, which details this in great detail, of Biff Davis Company, which publishes Fantastic Adventure magazines in Chicago. Now, Raymond Palmer published Amazing Stories, which matches that description entirely. I assume that's the publisher. Let's check. Biff Davis... Amazing Stories. Oh, Ziff Davis with a Z. I guess that is a Z. It could be. Interesting. All right, Ziff. So okay, so yeah, so that would be Raymond Palmer. Now we know that either Fred Krisman or Harold Dahl, because they were partners, one of them contacted Raymond Palmer. Raymond Palmer himself admits that. Let me see. So, if we keep going, sending fragments to the flying disc and relaying the above story. Blank requested Trans Radio News Chicago to verify the story as related by, who knows, Telegraph blank, or redacted, confirming redacted story. Redacted then engaged redacted Boise, Idaho, who was the first to report sighting the flying disc, and whom Redacted had previously made contact for a story regarding the flying disc to come to Tacoma to check the story related by Redacted. This right here... Sorry, where am I? There it is. Let's see. Boise, Idaho. That's Kenneth Arnold. He's the first one who saw the discs. Who was the first to report sighting the flying disc, and whom I assume Palmer had previously made a contract for a story regarding the flying disc. Yes, okay, Palmer offered him money. Would Raymond Palmer? Maybe it's Mr. Palmer. Oh, I bet it's Mr. Palmer. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, look at that. These I don't know. Maybe this might be Harold Dahl and Fred Krisman. Telegraphed. Oh boy, do I have anything in my notes about telegraph? Bear with me. No. Is there anything in the book about telegraphs? Bear with me, I'm searching. Do we have a search function on this? Yes. Telegraph. It's exciting stuff. Really, really fun, huh? There's something about the London Daily Telegraph. No. That's not what I'm looking for. What else do we have? All right. Telegraph blank. The story. Trans Radio News. Do we have anything in the book? No. Okay. That's going to remain unredacted for at least now. Also, hi, chat. What's going on? Are we, Raven. Who is this? It can't be Blue Pig and he doesn't do lives anymore. It's, Well, now, Curtis says it's hard to imagine bits flying off without the whole thing crashing. Maybe they were non-essential parts. I don't know enough about UFOs to know for sure. Let me check the notes that I have to see what the actual description was. Boop, boop, boop. I have it here somewhere. All right, so this is from Harold Dahl. This is a transcription by Kenneth Arnold of what he said. On June 21st, 1947, in the afternoon, about 2 o'clock, I was patrolling the east bay of Maury Island, close into the shore. Now, don't think he was some sort of patrolman. I think he worked in logging. It's just worded in a way. This practically uninhabited island lies directly opposite the city of Tacoma, about 3 miles from the mainland. This day, the sea was rather rough, and there were numerous low-hanging clouds. I, as captain, was sleeping my patrol boat close to the shore of a bay on Maury Island. On board were 2 crewmen, my 15-year-old son, and his dog. As I looked up from the wheel on my boat... Hold on, we need some music for this. I have a thing. This might be the time to test it out. It apparently is not going to work. There it is. Let me make sure the audio isn't too loud. Okay. As I looked up from the wheel on my boat, I noticed 6 very large and donut-shaped aircraft. I would judge they were about 2,000 feet above the water and almost directly overhead. At first glance, I thought them to be balloons, as they seemed to be stationary. However, upon further observance, 5 of these strange aircraft were circling very slowly around the 6th one, which was stationary in the center of the formation. It appeared to me that the center aircraft was in some kind of trouble, as it was losing altitude fairly rapidly. The other aircraft stayed at a distance of about 200 feet above the center one, as if they were following the center one down. The center aircraft came to rest almost directly overhead at about 500 feet above the water. All on board our motor were watching these aircraft with a great deal of interest, as they apparently had no motors, propellers, or any visible signs of propulsion. And to the best of our hearing, they made no sound in describing the aircraft. And the music is over now, unfortunately. But that's fine. I just wanted to test that. I digress. All right. I don't know if I have any other good music. It doesn't matter. We'll keep going. In describing the aircraft, I would say that they were at least 100 feet in diameter. Each had a hole in the center, approximately 25 feet in diameter, and were all sorts of shell-like gold and silver color. Their surface seemed of metal and appeared to be burled. I've lost my spot. My font is very, very small. Let me fix that. Haha. Because when the light shone on them through the clouds, they were brilliant. Not all one brilliance, but many brilliances. Something like a Buick dashboard. If you know, you know. Ooh, I've lost my spot again. All of the aircraft seemed to have portholes equally spaced around the outside of their donut exterior. These portholes were from 5 to 6 feet in diameter and were round. There also appeared to have a... There also appeared to have a dark circular continuous window on the inside and bottom of their donut shape, as though it was an observation window. All of us aboard their boat, or aboard the boat, were afraid this center balloon was going to crash the bay, and just a little while before it stopped lowering, we had pulled our boat over to the beach and got out with our harbor patrol camera. Sorry, it copied very perfectly from the book when I put it in my notes. So there are a lot of errors. I'm trying to not speak. To 3 or 4 photographs of the balloons. Center balloon-like aircraft remained stationary for about 500 feet from the water, while the other 5 aircraft kept circling over it. After about 5 or 6 minutes, one of the aircraft in the circling formation left its place in the formation and lowered itself down right next to the stationary aircraft. In fact, it appeared to touch it and stayed stationary stayed stationary next to the center aircraft as if it were giving some kind of assistance for about 3 or 4 minutes. It was then we heard a dull thud, like an underground explosion, or a thud similar to a man stamping his heel on damp ground. Immediately following the sound, the center aircraft began spewing forth what seemed like thousands of newspapers from somewhere on the inside of its center. These newspapers, which turned out to be a white type of very lightweight metal, fluttered to earth, most of them lighting in the bay. It then seemed to hail on us. We did not know if this metal was coming from the aircraft, but assumed that it was, as it fell at the same time as the white type metal was falling. However, since these fragments were of a darker color, we did not observe them until they started hitting the beach and the bay. All of these latter fragments seemed hot, almost molten. When they hit the bay, steam rose from the water. We ran for shelter under a cliff, on the beach, and behind logs to protect ourselves from the falling debris. In spite of our precaution, my son's arm was injured by one of the falling fragments, and our dog was hit and killed. We buried the dog at sea on our return trip to Tacoma. After the rain of metals seemed over, all these strange aircraft lifted slowly and drifted out to the westward, which is out to sea. They rose and disappeared at a tremendous height. The center aircraft, which had spewed the debris, did not seem to be hindered in its flight and still remained in the center of the formation as they all rose and disappeared out to sea. And then there's a little bit more about him being like, hey, I talked to Frank Prisman too, because he's like, you ruined the boat. You're a bad employee. And I was like, no, that's not the case. Anyway, et cetera, et cetera. So what the FBI are summarizing, saying that one of which fluttered to the earth and disintegrated, showering his boat with fragments. I mean, if you want to say it disintegrated but like kept flying, sure, but I wouldn't have ordered it that way. Not that it ultimately matters, I think. But yes. Raven, yes, I am seriously trying to figure out the redacted bits. Yes. Yes, I am. Yes. Yes. And I'm figuring it out. It's happening. Look at that. We got some stuff. All right. And who Mr. Palmer previously made contact with the story of Garnet Flying Disc. Come to Tacoma and check the story as related by Harold Dahl and Fred Krisman. Maybe. Blank came to Tacoma, Washington on July 30th, 1947, and arranged for a meeting the following day, July 31st, with Redacted in his room 502, Winthrop Hotel, Tacoma, Washington. I know that this is Kenneth Arnold, because he came to Tacoma on July 30th. In fact, if we look in his book to confirm for surezies, because that's what I'm basically doing, we type Tacoma in the search, which you can't see because it's not up. Palmer, next day, Dave Johnson. Oh. Is one of these Dave Johnson? Where is... Next day, I found out that Dave Johnson of the Idaho Statement had been requested to send in a complete written report of his observation with the commanding officer of Wright Patterson Field, Dayton, Ohio. It was that afternoon. We were walking. Oh, that was a different... Anyway, no, that's a different part of it. What was that? What was that? What is this? What? I know that noise. Is that a Discord phone call? Someone trying to call me? What is that? Stop it! Who's what is happening? Is that one of you? Oh, it's Steam. Oh, it's a guy I used to surf with in Germany. What interesting timing. Last I heard of him, his Facebook was hacked, and I played with the scammer for a very long time. He'd be like, "Where did we meet? Oh, was it here? Was it here?" And they did not know. Okay. I'll say hi to him later. That I might have to exit out of that. Anyway, okay, it was the morning of July 29th, 1947 that I took off from a private cow pasture. This is Kenneth Arnold's book. Near my home, it was about 5:30 a.m. I never told anyone of my plans as to when I was going to leave Boise. So if we look here, okay, came to Tacoma July 30th. Is that actually when he arrived? Because he left July 29th from Boise. And then he went to the hotel. Bear with me. Let me give you some music while I search this. Stall. Yeah. Proof 502. This is saying 29th. Gas flew almost the same route. And landed at Barry's Airport, it's a little airfield located down on the mud flats. I am sure that neither Barry nor his wife recognized me as the man whose picture had been in the newspapers connecting with flying disc stories, which would be probably this picture or that picture, actually. Yeah, anyway. Gone to the hotel. I'm trying to get a date. Okay, so Harold Dahl told him that story on July 29th. So if we look at, let me pull it up. You guys can see it, but I can't yet. Okay, these dates are wrong, but this describes the situation. They're just off by a day. One of them is off by a day. Either Kenneth Arnold in his book or the FBI have just gotten something wrong. I know that there is a statement by Kenneth Arnold in the FBI repository, and so maybe the date was just off by a day. But I know that that's what that is because it describes the meeting with Dahl. Yeah. So if we go here with oh, no. Okay, so Chrisman came the next day. So July 30th. I think Chrisman showed up because Dahl was like, "Yeah, let me get this guy." So this is going to be Fred Chrisman and Harold, because this is such a tiny little. Sorry, let me show you. Tiny little thing. That's got to be Dahl. And so that seems actually pretty consistent with Chrisman and Dahl. So maybe it doesn't matter, but maybe this should be Fred, Chrisman, and Harold Dahl. For whatever reason. All right. Are we having fun yet? Woo, it's good times, right? Yeah, unredacted documents is not exciting, but I'm working on it. Distract me in the comments if you would. All right. Blank also, okay. He's in charge, Kenneth Arnold. Man, I use the first and last name a lot, so I know I used a Mr. in here somewhere. Oh, this is Ray Palmer. He went by Ray. Maybe. It could be a Mr. But that's Kenneth Arnold. All right. Kenneth Arnold also called to attend the meeting. That's going to be Emmett J. Smith, I believe. It's E.J. Smith. Yeah, I think his first name is Emmett. He's he's this one. Also this one. And then his co-pilot. And then, sorry. Smith, Arnold, Smith's co-pilot. Yeah. Nailed it. I can put myself back. Wait. There we go. Okay. So that's going to be, is it Emmett J. Smith? Or Big Smithy, as he called him. Let me check. Emmett J. Smith. E.J. Smith, by the way, is also the name of the captain of the Titanic. Just doing a quick little Google to make sure it is old Smithy. Big Smithy. I mean, it's a big dude. Darn, I know I have it somewhere. We're just going to go Emmett J. Smith for here. Emmett J. Is that how you spell? Oh, God. How do you spell? That's not how you spell Emmett. Or Smith. Hold on. Here, have this. Smith. Taco and Yoshi, thank you so much. It's nice to see you go live again. I started too. Oh, good. Oh, Emil. This might be Captain. Emil J. Smith. Yeah. United Airlines pilot who had also reported seeing flying disc fragments. No, FBI. No. He reported seeing unexplained aerial phenomenon, I think is what we're calling it now. He saw what he thought might have been saucers in July. On July 4th? Maybe. Those lights just get brighter? I don't know. I think I'm doing Mad Libs wrong. The most boring Mad Libs in the world. Hey, you're all... Yeah. All right, so... Wait, I'm sorry. Yeah, enjoy... Hold on. Is this... How... Okay. Sorry. It was important. Moving on. I'm seeing saucers. Okay, yeah. I mean, look at this. We don't know what these guys are. This guy and this guy and this guy. But we got a lot of stuff. Like, I know that these have to be accurate. I might have some of this, how they're actually worded incorrect. But those are the people that they're referring to. That's important. That's page 1 of many. This might be a multi-stream kind of a thing. And I don't expect you all to stay with me the entire time. But we have okay. Lost reports seeing flying disc fragments and Army intelligence to attend this meeting. Well, I don't even know where to begin on that. Oh, no, that's going to be Kenneth Arnold, Captain Emo Smith, Fred Krisman. This isn't enough people. What would they have written that as? I don't know. But those 4 are definitely there. Might have been a 5th. Let me check. Check the book. Morello. Oh, yeah, because they started getting phone calls from the Tacoma Times. They thought they were being spied on. It gets so weird, guys. This story gets so weird. All right, the next morning, July 31st, Captain Smith and I were awakened by Krisman and Dahl. Their arms were loaded with heavy lava rocks. Here we go. Military Intelligence, 4th Air Force, Hamilton Field, California, is where Arnold called to be like, hey, Kenneth Arnold. Sorry, sometimes call him Kenneth, sometimes Arnold. I got to pick one. But they're both first names. It's hard. So he calls them, and they're like, oh, very interesting, yes. Let's see, only a few minutes. They're like, yep, we'll show up. Okay, it's alone in the room when Frank Brown phoned from the hotel desk saying they were on their way up. This is from Kenneth Arnold's book. Sorry, in case we were curious. I told him Smith and Krisman had stepped out for a few minutes, but that I would be waiting for them. It was about 4:30 p.m., July 31st. They came right up. Captain Davidson stepped into the room first. He was smiling and seemed very friendly. He was a short, stocky fellow. Yeah, Davidson. He looks nice. Like he's smiling. Let me give you this friendly little face. Let me bring that up to you. Brown seems more serious, but like, look at this guy. Look at this happy little guy. Can't really see it very well. There we go. That's William Davidson. He is dead. He died in a plane crash on one of these. So, sorry, the bombers. This guy. It's a real damn shame. But he saved the life of at least one person during it. So, a hero? I'd be okay calling him that. But let me keep reading from this. My creaky chair. All right. Short, stocky fellow, medium complexion, rather round face. I recall that when he smiled, it showed up a long scar on his face very prominently. I'd noticed the scar before when he visited my home. I always meant to ask him where he got it. I guess they never find out. As he and Lieutenant Brown were fighting a chair, maybe Captain Davidson, Lieutenant Brown. Yeah. Captain Davidson said he had something to tell me. I said I thought that Captain Smith and I were entitled from a personal standpoint to know what they had found out. I knew that investigating flying saucer stories had been a full-time job for them. We were in, yes, they was. They, oh boy, were they just like, we don't know. What are these things? They did, in fact, know. I don't think these guys knew. The military knew, I think. That's a different story. Okay. So, Brown, Davidson. Fred L. Krisman, Harold Dahl. Yeah, so it's just the 6 of them. So, I don't know what's all in this little chunk right here. Stop that. But I know that those 4 people are there. Maybe there's a Mr. Kenneth Arnold. Maybe there's some middle initials in there. I don't know. But it continues. Captain Davidson, Lieutenant Brown of Army A2 Intelligence from Hamilton Field, California, all met in Arnold's room because it was his room. At various times during the afternoon and evening of July 31st, 1947, that is consistent with what we just read. That's perfect. And discuss the flying disc story as related by, I want to say, according to the book, it was Fred Krisman who relayed. That was Harold Dahl's story. Let's see. For the next 2.5 hours, Fred L. Krisman related Harold Dahl's story. Excuse me. So Fred Krisman was the one who was actually telling the story to these two intelligence guys. So this is going to be Fred Krisman. There might be an L in there. There might be a Mr. in there. That's who it is. The Army intelligence officers, Captain Davidson and Lieutenant Brown, left about 2 a.m. the morning of August 1st, 1947, to return to Hamilton Field, California for Air Force Day in a B-25, and were carrying some of the reported disc fragments. The left engine on the B-25 burned an exhaust stack, which in turn caught the left wing afire, the wing subsequently breaking off and tearing off the tail. That's what's known in aviation circles as really, really bad, turns out. Before I continue, what's the chat up to? How are you guys doing? Oh, hi, Mark. Do I have multiple pull boards? I have some concern. No, this. Like, do I have multiple of that? No, I'm running out of room. It's a problem. It is a thing. Yes, this is my dream board. Are you this organized in real life? Don't cross Bluey, he'll hunt you down. Scared, be afraid. No, okay. No, I'm not this organized in real life. Because I generally have like a ton of things going on at any given time. Because I love to have little projects. I just don't necessarily love finishing them. Because the part I love doing is like the middle part. And then like actually the refining bit, not as much fun. So I'm getting better. No, this guy right here, I don't usually. So I've done this professionally with the board and the string once. It was for a case in Germany. It's the case it's like the one I always talk about because it was such a big for that base anyway. Narcotics sort of event. It was just spice, but like drugs are bad in the Army. It doesn't really matter what the drugs are. If you're not allowed to do it, you're not allowed to do it. Obviously, like meth is worse than spice, but spice is still going to get you in a lot of trouble because you signed a contract, you had a deal. Don't do it. And about half of an aviation unit, I think they might have been. I don't think they were the pilots. I think it was just like maintenance and support. Half the unit, at least it felt like half the unit, was transporting spice, using spice, introducing it to military installation. It was a whole thing. My God, a lot of fun though. A lot of fun. Usually in the Army, you don't have these big cases connected to a ton of people because when you get caught, you're out, and you don't usually have a lot of people there to like. Usually have to go off of the installation to find the crime and bring it back on. It's a whole thing. Like I'm not saying you can't. And then on the civilian side, yeah, you're gonna have maybe stuff that looks like this. But this in my experience in the Army, as investigations go for like counter narcotics or general crimes, not including like felony level stuff, because that can get real crazy with just one person, let alone I think this one was like 11 to 14. It was a lot it was above the norm. I'll say that. And we created something like this, not because we needed it, mostly to show it off to like the higher ups that were coming down to visit. Like we were a detachment in Ansbach, which is where the guy that just messaged me was from. It's kind of crazy. And we belonged to, a larger group of CID, whatever. And so one of them was coming down to like come say hi. We're like, we need some stuff. We need some stuff to like look cool. And we built essentially this. And they were like, wow, that's impressive. Because like nobody was doing it because we have computers now. So I do this kind of stuff, but it's all digital. I really enjoy doing it. I enjoy the organizational side of it on a computer and sort of finding the most efficient way to put things in places. But no, usually I'm not this. As we can tell, I like a little bit of chaos. I like to be surrounded by interesting things. So, yeah. They're not difficult to make. You just got to do it. You know, start putting pins and things. The most difficult thing probably was finding all these fun little UFO related pins. I'll show it off again in case you missed it. Like, I just found a ton of fun UFO bits and pieces. Ooh, I dropped it. Oh, my squeaky chair. You know, little bits and pieces. And so if I do bigger projects like this, I want to make that. Oh God, this chair is so squeaky. I found the lubricant for it to make it less squeaky, but I'm worried it won't work and I'll just be stuck with it, so I haven't used it. But I do have my, you know, the red pins in case I need it. I have some colored ones that are in here somewhere, just in case. Yeah. So I'm thinking once this project is done, like when everything's up, the multi-part series is done. I'm sorry, you're over. Let me. There we are. I'm thinking of selling these pins as like as merch, like the original pins from this board. You can get these pins yourself, but they won't be the actual ones that I am using here. And then I'll like have it pinned to something, a little signature if anyone cares. But if I'm, you know, getting new pins for every big multi-video project like this, it is. I mean, they're cheap, but it's going to add up, and then I'm just going to have so many pins, and I want to get rid of them. And I feel like reasonably priced merch is like channel used things that are also very fun pins. I don't know. Let me know what you think about that, by the way. Yes, I am a wackadoo. That is absolutely true. Does that technically qualify your floor as a UFO crash site? It does, Mark. You are absolutely correct. In fact, you're so correct that I want to do this thing because I love it so much. Yes. It does need more red yarn. Oh. The aliens. Yes, it needs more red yarn. That one, once I actually am filming, there's going to be more red yarn on this. These maps, by the way, I have to brag about it because I kind of have it. These are from 1947, the year all this happened. These are, this one's from Mobile Gas. It's a 3-state, it's some Montana map, and this one's Tacoma and Seattle. Seattle's on the other side. That one's from Shell. They're just things you get in a gas station. And I found them on eBay for probably like $15 each, which doesn't seem bad as like the cost of doing this. This might get a little pricey. Hopefully there is less drain on my financials by then. Some of you know what I'm talking about. We're not going to go into detail about it. But I do want to get up in an airplane. There's a museum that has a model of the plane that Arnold used. There's not really much special about the plane. It's old planes. There aren't too many of them. But there's a museum a few hours away that has one. I want to get in a plane and actually go up and fly around the mountains and film that. I want to stay in a hotel. The hotel he stayed at is now apartments. I'm not going to stay in there, but there's a McMenamins. If you know what a McMenamins is, it's a very, very weird hotel. I love it. And it's like a block or two away. And there are some things I want to test out. It also has a mural of this, basically, of this incident, or including this incident. So there's going to be a little bit of travel, a little bit of filming on location. So $15 for a map. Doesn't seem unreasonable. So yeah. A little bit rusty, needs to get my thoughts organized. This is true. This is very true, yes. Yes, it's very true. So many pins. I have more coming. It actually ended up not being enough. I have many more pictures to put up there. And I have these FBI documents to put up there. So it's going to get even more chaotic. But I decided to stop because this is just background of what it's probably going to look like for the real thing. Set up to make this stream at least look more interesting. Because it's not an exciting stream. We know this. I know this. You know this. We're unredacting documents. And like on paper... Like, ooh, you know, but like, it's not the process of it. The explanation of it, sure. The process of it, not exciting. Not at all. Sorry, let's check and make sure that's not. Oh, I got a delivery. It's the extension cable. Very exciting stuff. Let's go back into this. All right. The wing subsequently breaking off and tearing off the tail. Oh, yeah, we're back to the B-25 crash, in case you forgot. However, the crew chief and a hitchhiker parachuted to safety. Okay, now, the hitchhiker, it's very funny. Oh, yeah. That's this article here. It was a soldier. He was just getting a ride home, basically. He had never flown before, ever. And this is 1947. Airplanes are, commercial airplanes, relatively new. And Sergeant Matthews says, "No, I'm not going to try for another plane ride to Texas. This time I'm going all the way by bus. That they can take all their airplanes and keep them." He's basically in there, and they suffer an engine failure. Like and I'll read this again. The left an exhaust stack caught the left wing afire, and the wing broke off and tore off the tail. So he's in there, just like, is this normal? And everyone's just like, get up. Here's a parachute. This is what's going to happen. Pull this cord. Go. And they just shove him out. And he's injured a little bit because he doesn't know how to land. You got to know how to land. He didn't know. He's never even flown before. He obviously doesn't know how a parachute works. And they just throw it on him and basically give him instructions as they're launching him off the plane, which is crashing. Can you imagine? It's so nuts. It was Taff. They hung a chute on me, told me what to do, and then shoved me out of the plane, Taff said. So there's Taff and Matthews. Matthews was the plane's crew chief. Sorry. That was, okay, let me back up. Matthews is the plane's crew chief. He'd never parachuted before. And then Elmer Taff, who is a technician, 4th grade, is in the military. I believe that was their first flight. And we'll go over that. It's nuts. Those poor people. Ha. Oh, thank you, Gilbert. It's good to be back. Would it be easier just to FOIA the unredacted docs? I don't think they have the unredacted docs. I think, because someone FOIA, this is from a FOIA. Someone's like, can we have these? And they're like, yeah, we'll release it on our site. These are from 1947. I don't think they have the original documents anymore. I think they were scanned as redacted documents, and that's all they have left. Because these aren't that important to them. Because it's like, if UFOs are real, they're not in this. The FBI is not being told about that. If alien UFOs are real, or they're not included in this pile, or a different agency who will not give them up, I assume, has them. Nothing in here unredacted is going to say, yes, aliens definitely exist. Maybe. What it is, because the FBI doesn't know what they're looking at either. This eventually, after a couple years, left the FBI's hands, and then you have Project Blue Book, and the things that came before and after it, where the military took over, or various whatevers took over, and started investigating it. And some might say investigating it. But the FBI, around this time, I'm confident, had no idea what they were looking at. And for a long time, the documents seem to indicate there's stop, people. Just shut up. We don't care. This isn't a thing. You're just being ridiculous. And there's commentary about, we have to control this. We have to address this in a way to avoid, panic. Is this the Russians? Are the Russians spreading these stories to get people to panic that will either require us to actually say there are aliens, or it's not aliens, it's this top secret thing that will just make not top secret anymore. Now you know, right? Is that what's happening? Is now they're forced to reveal the U-2 spy plane, which is not what this is. But that was a concern. The FBI has memos about it going, what on earth? It's very fun, but that's not what we're looking at. It gets real crazy. So, back on track. No, I don't know if, I think this is probably all they have. Maybe. But generally they don't unredact these things. Because these are people's personal names. Unless it's like a long time later when their estate can't claim, privacy, whatever, which I don't think we're at yet. Anywho, all right. The B-25 crashed, killing Captain Davidson and Lieutenant Brown. However, the crew chief and a hitchhiker parachuted to safety. Intelligence officers in McCord Field, Washington, which is now JBLM, near me, advised there was no indication of any sabotage. The plane crashed at Kelso, Washington, approximately 2:50 a.m., August 1st, 1947. Yeah, you can't see where I'm pointing. It doesn't matter. All right. 5 anonymous calls were received by a something and the something between 11:30 a.m. July 31st, 1947, and 5:30 p.m. August 2nd, 1947. The first call was to a blank, approximately 11:30 a.m. July 31st, which the caller stated there was a meeting taking place at that time in room 502 of the Winthrop Hotel concerning the disc fragments. Now, this is related to and if you'll bear with me for 1 second, I know you can't see anything, but I got a phone call. Where's the phone call? Where's the bit about the phone call? Morello, Tom Morello of United Press. I'm guessing Paul Lance. Who's Paul Lance? Hold on. Time we had just settled down and go to sleep when the phone rang. It was Tim Morello of United Press. Later found out he was a UP's headman, Tacoma, with offices in the Tacoma Times building. Immediately started to hang up on him when he said, "Hold on a minute, some crackpot's been phoning us here, telling us verbatim what has been going on in your hotel room for the last day." I told him we would not admit or deny anything. Morello proceeded to tell me step by step what we had been doing. I was amazed at the accuracy of what he told me, but I didn't let on to Morello that it was true. We had both been bothered several times by a reporter from the Tacoma Times named Paul Lance earlier in the day, but they didn't say anything, so received by the so this might be Paul Lance, it might be Tom Morello. It has to do with the, I assume, Tacoma Times. This is going to be in Arnold's room. Maybe, that fits. The B-25, which crashed, was carrying disc fragments. The third call was received Friday, August 1st, 1947, by the 5:30 p.m. Hold on. Davidson, Lieutenant Brown, Army Command. Morello was saying, transmitter. Yeah, it gets weird. Oh, exciting stuff. We arose the next morning. Evanston, Illinois. Is that relevant? Chrisman. This might, I know I have, sorry, I have some of this information It might be from a different FBI document. We're going to skip that for now. I assume that's Tacoma Times. Fourth phone call was received at approximately 6:45 p.m. Friday, August 1st by the... Yeah, I think these are going to have to be... I'm going to have to go through other documents, not just the book. It's a phone call received by whatever. Had also been shut down, and that redacted would be taken to right field Tuesday. Oh, I don't know who that would be. When the Army authorities released the names of the dead intelligence officers, which verify the information given by the anonymous caller, the Tacoma Times... Okay, well, it's not redacted there. So either they accidentally didn't redact that. All right. Oh, that throws a wrench on redacting this. P25 shut down, sabotage. P25 been shot down, sabotaged because of the fact it was carrying disk fragments. Redacted have admitted, so this is two people, that the material which they sent to Redacted had no connection with any flying disks, and have given a signed statement to that effect, which are being forwarded herein. That is Grisman and Dahl. Because I've seen that statement. It is also redacted. It will also have to be unredacted. That's Grisman and Dahl have admitted that the material which they sent to, that's going to be Palmer, had no connection with any flying disks, and have given a signed statement to that effect, which are being forwarded herein. Grisman and Dahl deny, however, that they actually started the flying disc story and their actual part in this story. United Airlines pilot, that's going to be Emil J. Smith, because he is the United Airlines pilot in this story, states that Redacted on July 31st, 1947, both related their original flying disc fragment stories. Okay, that's also going to be Harold and Dahl. So plural. These are the ones relaying a story. Sorry, it's going to be Grisman, Dahl, not Harold. It's Harold. It doesn't matter. Nope, can't spell. Grisman and Dahl on July 31st, 1947, both related their original flying disc fragment story. Information gathered would indicate that the anonymous phone calls were possibly made by Grisman or Dahl. That does, in fact, fit. In order to build up the flying disc story to the point where they could make a profitable sale of the story to Ray Palmer, Chicago, Illinois. Or that be Amazing Stories. Does that fit? No. We'll do Ray Palmer. It's a little guesswork, but because we have a lot of information that's not redacted, that's published by Kenneth Arnold, then there's other newspapers that have a lot of this stuff, which I'll have to find to do like the rest of the comparison. We can make some very accurate guesses, presumably. Now I'm going to check chat real quick, if you don't mind. Let's see what's happening. Epiphanies, have fun with movie night. Benjamin, have fun as well. Demand truth. That's what needs to be done. That's right, Don. Ah. I agree. Truth is important. Let's see. All right. Oh, there's so many pages. How many pages do we have? Too many. Oh, an hour and a half. An hour and a half, and we are 2-point-something pages in. Bear with me. All right, I'm going to knock this out. All right. Following investigation was conducted by Special Agent... I'm not going to know what this is. maybe. At Tacoma, Washington, August 6th, 7th, 1947. Redacted. Tacoma, Washington advised that in the early part of June 1947, he was requested by the Seattle Post-Intelligencer to check on a story which he was informed had been obtained from the something at Harper, Washington. The story was supposed to have originated with, and this is going to be Harold Dahl. Period. And then it's going to be Mr. Dahl? Or would Harold Dahl fit again? Suppose it would. Harold Dahl stated that the story was to the effect that Dahl, while patrolling in his boat near Maury Island, saw 5 or 6 flying discs, one of which fluttered toward the ground and finally disintegrated. Again, we already talked about that. It disintegrated is maybe too strong of a word. Fragments of the disc were reported to have showered down on the boat of Harold Dahl, causing some damage and killing his dog. Mr. Dahl. So the reason I'm alternating like this is because sometimes that's what happens in these documents. And I used to write these documents. Not for the FBI, but in investigations. So sometimes do that. This is not how we would write it, honestly. There's a different format now. But this is not necessarily uncommon. But Mr. Dahl stated that he went to the home of... Oh, wait. Fly disc story, stated as best he could recall. This was just a few days after the first fly disc story had appeared in the paper and was on Sunday evening. He believed it was the early part of June. He said, Blank took him in the kitchen, proceeded to talk about this flying disc story in low muffled tone. He stated that Blank acted rather suspicious and that shortly his wife came to the kitchen and was in considerable rage, telling Redacted to admit the entire story was a plain fantasy, which he had dreamed up. He stated that after his wife told Redacted to admit the entire story was false, that Redacted then admitted there was nothing whatever to the story and it was an entire hoax. Redacted stated that in view of the enraged condition of Redacted's wife, he immediately left and reported to the Seattle Post-Intelligencer that the entire story was a hoax and that they should not print it in any way. He further stated that he advised the Seattle Post-Intelligencer that Redacted was a mental case and that nothing which he had reported should be carried as far as news story. Redacted stated that since that time, he had received repeated requests from the Boise Statesman requesting information as to the flying disc stories reportedly originating with Redacted. Redacted stated that he had never in his experience had such pressure brought upon him to release a news story and that he repeatedly advised the Boise Statesman that the story of seeing the flying discs by Redacted was a complete fabrication should be in no way carried as a news story and refused to furnish any information regarding these reports. He further stated that he advised the Boise Statesman shortly before, or at the time, Redacted left Boise to come to Tacoma. That's going to be Kenneth Arnold. Sometimes you got to do it not in order. Left Boise to come to Tacoma, check on the flying disc story with, and that's going to be Captain Smith, Captain Emo J. Smith. They always include the J, so will I. That Redacted should not come as the entire story was a hoax. I assume that's Arnold. This is not what happened. Like, Arnold wasn't told this, though. But that's kind of bad news for this entire story, huh? But it doesn't matter, because I don't really care about the Maury Island incident. It's just, like, a really big deal. I care about what came before it with Kenneth Arnold. Now, these two, I think, lied. Got caught up in a thing. And then these two people died. And then this guy made a lot of money, I presume. And then this guy was just like, but I still want answers. Because I saw a thing. But who went to the home playing Tacoma, Washington. So one of them, who lives in Tacoma, Washington? One of them lived. Secretary. It's the word I'm looking for because I know it's in this book around the place that I want to look. Harold. Okay. So Arnold went to Doll's house. Upon entering the house, I saw a piano to my left against the wall. Bedroom led directly to the right of the front room. The entire front room was very narrow, with a slight archway between the farther end of the front room and a small open dining room. Another archway tunneled into the kitchen in the rear. Next to the piano, the west window was a large radio, about a 1937 model, with its wires trailing through the edge of the window panel to the outside. More descriptions. Harold went directly through the front door and dining room into the kitchen. A woman about 40 years of age, Harold's secretary, was in the kitchen. That's not the wife, but we know that Harold lives in Tacoma. We know this house that they're talking about in Tacoma. Is this Harold Dahl's? If I look up the word wife, is that in here? And there's Kenneth's wife. Harold Dahl's wife became ill. Harold Dahl made the excuse that his wife wasn't feeling well and that he had to go home for supper. Here we go. In the book, bear with me. Which section? Is this the section written by Palmer? No, I think. So this book written by Kenneth Arnold was written after, well after this incident, based on his own notes. But in this book, we can actually, this has the section I'm looking for. All right. Later, under questioning, Crisman and Dahl broke, this is from the book, and admitted that the fragments they had produced were really unusual rock formations found on Maury Island and had no connection with flying discs. They admitted, telling the Chicago Magazine, that the fragments could have been the remnants of the discs in order to increase the sale value of their story. Well, how unfortunate. Wait a second. Okay, sorry. During the investigation, Dahl's wife consistently urged him to admit the entire affair was a hoax, and it is carried as such in Project Saucer files. A flying disc became big business in Black River Falls, Wisconsin, where someone charged 50 cents admission for looking at the saucer until police stepped in and discovered that it was just plywood and cardboard. So, yes. So we can assume that that is Harold Dahl's wife, who was like, "You're lying." I don't know who this is. All right. Plank stated that he went to the home, blank, to come Washington to check with him on the blind disc story. It's just a few days. I believe it was the June. He said Dahl took him in. Okay, so that would have to be Crisman. Because this is a summary of the interview of both of them. That could fit. All right, to the home. And this might be the address here. It's French. Mark, thanks so much. Says, ooh, I have another member milestone chat. Yes, you do. And now you don't. But thank you. Thank you so much. Says, what I don't have is any information of interest to the FBI, CIA, or any other agencies. Hashtag don't kidnap me. Mark, why don't I believe that you have something of value? We'll find out. We won't. Oh, Johnny Bravo. Hey, thank you for the $1. I see that now. Thank you all for donations. It's great. That's very nice. I'm sorry if I miss it. And Sam Iam, I assume it's Sam I Am, is a little zombie. I should make that into a more relevant thing. Thank you so much, says almost a year. I appreciate that a lot. Thanks for being a member for that long. That's nuts. I ain't even been doing that much in the last year. But yeah. Grifkai, why are you cursing me? What's going on there? What's happening? Or is that related to oh, is that lemon tarts? Wow. 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 If wait, whoa. Hey, Mark, thank you so much. Thank you. Let me what do we got? We got 5 Blue Bacon memberships gifted. And it's Alan Churcher. Tipman 2. Oh boy, I forgot about that. I did that to myself. I hate it every time. Luke Morrison is a member. Tammy is a member. Cast Graphics is a member. Need more green. I mean, I'm not going to stop you. I'm deaf. I chose that noise specifically because it was going to upset me. And it's very distracting. And name it Icarus, you say? Well, don't mind if I had that ready. It's a whole stream full. Keep Lisa up at night. And yeah, no, it's B-roll footage is what it's gonna be. Hello. But let's finish this page and then maybe we'll end it. He's okay. Stated that Dahl took him into the kitchen, proceeded to talk to him about this flying discord in low muffled tones. He stated that Dahl, that's because Fitz Dahl acted rather suspicious, and that shortly his wife came to the kitchen and was in a considerable rage, telling Dahl, because that's what fits, has to be Dahl or Krisman, to admit that the entire story was a plain fantasy which he had dreamed up. He stated that after his wife told, and again it's that guy, to admit the entire story was false, that, Dahl did in fact admit that there was nothing whatever to the story. And it was an entire hoax. Dahl stated that, this must have been a wild interrogation or interview, depends on if it was considered a crime at the point, stated that in view of the enraged condition of Dahl's wife, he immediately left and reported the Seattle Post, or would this be Krisman? I think this would be Krisman. Does it fit? Ooh. I mean, I haven't matched the size and the font. It's close. But grammatically, this would make sense. View of the enraged condition of Dahl's wife. So let me. There we go. He immediately left and reported the Seattle Post intelligence that the entire story was a hoax. That Dahl was a mental case and that nothing which he had reported should be carried as far as the news story. I'm gonna guess this is Krisman. Do we feel like that's a Mr. Yeah, Mr. Krisman stated that since that time he'd received repeated requests from the boys' statesman requesting further information and supplying the stories reported originally with oh, I don't know. This I mean, this size-wise, this has to be doll. Doll-sized. Doll say they never experienced such pressure. The story seeing the flying disc by unless that doesn't fit though. But it would have to be, right? The story seeing the flying disc by playing with complete fabrication should be in no way carries the news story if used to furnish any information regarding these reports. Put a little question mark in there because the size isn't. There would have to be. I mean, you could do like Mr. Harold Dahl Esquire or something, right? Like, I don't know. Originating with. I don't. And then this, I don't know. Just put it into question marks. This has to be doll, size-wise, one would think. Never an experience. Unless it's just like Fred. That would make sense. That's not how you generally write these. Say that he had never an experience, had such pressure brought upon him to release a news story. Oh, no. Unless it's Palmer. Or one of the people, one of the other reporters. More question marks. But that's not as important per se. We mostly want this. That's the important bit. Then we have all of this. And that might clarify some things, but yeah, that's a good start. You got what, three pages. I mean, we're missing some things. There might be information elsewhere that I'd have to find. But this is important. This is a very good start. This is exactly what I'm looking for. It's just the unredaction of the hoax bit. Because one of these guys, these two hooligans up here, you can see one of them here. And again, we have Harold Dahl up here and then Fred Krisman there. One of them had told Arnold, I believe, Kenneth Arnold, like, if you go to the government with this, I'm just going to say it's not real. You know? And then they turned around and went, no, I told the government it wasn't real. It's totally real. I want to say it was Krisman who did that. Like, I could be wrong. You'll have to watch the main video to find out. But while we're here, you guys want some tunes? Say hi. So I'm gonna save that redaction there. I feel good about that. There was a bit of delay. What are we feeling, folks? Well, we feeling a little. I don't think running this through ChatGPT would actually do anything. I don't know. I mean, maybe if you had like the fancy version, the paid version, it could be like, oh, well, this distance of text would have to be this. And I can do that manually. I'm just not going to because this is less. Because I know you can figure out what these names would be based on what's already been published, unredacted, by like Arnold Palmer. Not Arnold Palmer. Kenneth Arnold, sorry. This entire time I've been writing the script, I've been confusing these two because it's Raymond Palmer and Kenneth Arnold. I just am calling them Arnold Palmer as like the pair. And then I forget that that's a drink and a person. Probably a person and then a drink. But I knew of him as a drink first. So, shanties. Oh, okay. Guess we could do shanties. Give me a second. Bear with me. Let me zoom out for you a little bit there. Here we go. Are these on PDF? They are on PDF, yes. But they were redacted and then scanned. That's the proper way to do it. So it has no, it's not redacted through PDF. I don't know if that was the question. Just put it out there. Chat GHP. Gonna get me in trouble. All right, let me bear with me. All right. Let me get the piratey. Oh, what shall we do with a drunken sailor? What shall we do with a drunken sailor? What shall we do with a drunken sailor? Early in the morning. I like that better. What shall we do with it? Nope. All right. Good. Hooray, and up she rises. Hooray, up she rises. Hooray, up she rises early in the morning. Put him in the longboat till he's sober. Put him in the longboat till he's sober. Put him in the longboat till he's sober early in the morning. Hooray, and up she rises. Hooray, and up she rises. Hooray, and up she rises early in the morning. There's your shanty. Ah? Yeah? What else we got? Boop. Anything, Poor Panther, ears are bleeding. Assassin's Creed Black Flag is where it's at. What do we want? Do we have any other requests while I'm here? Before the stream ends? Before my battery dies? No Twitch tonight. I got some stuff I got to prepare for, and then in the morning I got to be functional. So, unfortunately. No terrible piano song request. That's fine. It's the Sailor song. Oh, no, I don't know. What? Okay, I see you. Okay. Today is gonna be the day that they're gonna throw it back to you. By now, you should have somehow realized what you're gonna do. I don't believe that anybody feels the way I do about you now. Backbeat, the word is on the street that the fire in your heart is out. I'm sure you've heard it all before, but you never really had a doubt. I don't believe that anybody feels the way I do about you now. And all the roads we have to walk are winding, and all the lights that lead us there are blinding. There are many things that I like to say. We're gonna ignore that. Say to you, E minor, but I don't know how. Ooh, there's the A7. Because maybe, nope, maybe you're gonna be the one that saves me. I've lost it. And after all, you're my wonder wall. I don't know it well enough to actually know how it goes. All right, not terrible for, well, you know, it's a performance. They own the song. I own the performance. We'll split it. That's how that works. But yes, it is copyright. Next time stream, I have no idea. Maybe tomorrow. Maybe. And then we'll have to do that box thing. It was not great, but also I don't know how to play it. So not bad for just looking at some guitar chords. All right, give me one more. Give me another good one. Another terrible. I gotta, make all my viewers leave. There's a delay though, so it's gonna be just as bad. And I might not even know the song. Which one of you actually suggested that? Freebird. I don't know if I know Freebird well enough. I know like the solo. Where did the free... Oh, Erica, you were the one. Imagine? Like the Beatles Imagine? I could probably. That's the one we're thinking. Mark, yes. That's also how, yeah. We're the champions. Oh. Well, as John Lennon Imagine. I don't know if he was still... I'll do We're the Champions unless Griff Kai's actually suggesting Imagine. From, okay, John, the old J-Dog. All right. Let's see how difficult this one is. Probably not. Imagine there's no heaven, It's easy if you try. No hell below us, above us only sky. Imagine all the people, there we go, living for today. Woo-hoo-doo. No, hold on. Living for today. We'll let it slide. Imagine there's no countries. It isn't hard to do. Nothing to kill or die for. No religion too. Imagine all the people living a life in peace. Living life in peace. You may say I'm a dreamer. Ooh, there it is. But I'm not the only one. Wait, fine. Oh, there it is, yeah. My home, someday you'll join us. And the world will be as one. All right. We are the champions. We are the... I do it because some of you like it. I got a piano here, might as well. Oh. E flat. Oh. Um, That's a difficult one. See, he actually knew how to play piano. We are the champions, my friends. And we'll keep on fighting until the end. All right, I'll do one more. One. One of my favorite songs. I don't know. Just the two of us. Barry Manilow. All right. Yes. I used to know how to play that, but that was decades ago. That's not how that goes. Rainbow Connection. Yeah, that's a good one to end it on. Yes. Yes. Good choice. Blunt opinion. Yes, I've been, it's been a while. Why are no? Let me get the transpose up. Why are there so many? Okay, no. Why are there so many songs about rainbows? And what's on the other side? Rainbows are visions, but they're just illusions. And rainbows have nothing to hide. So we've been told, and some choose to believe it. But I know they're wrong. Wait and see. Sorry, I haven't caught me by surprise. Someday we'll find it. The rainbow connection. The lovers, the dreamers, and me. Who said that every wish would be heard and answered? It's not easy to do. Answered when wished on the morning star. Somebody thought of that, and someone believed it. And look what it's done so far. We gotta. What's so amazing that keeps us stargazing? What do we think we might see? Someday we'll find it. The rainbow connection. The lovers, the dreamers, and me. La-di-da-da-di-da-da. Etc., etc. Have you been half asleep? And have you heard voices? I've heard them calling my name. Is this the sweet sound that called the young sailors? The voice might be one and the same. I've heard it too many times to ignore it. It's something that I'm supposed to be. Someday we'll find it. The rainbow connection. The lovers, dreamers, and me. I own a violin. It's a garbage violin, and I can't play it. But it was free, so I own it. There. Now we have Hogwarts. Okay. Lemon tart. Okay. No. Nah. Too much. It's a child-friendly show. Nice standard. All right. It's been over 2 hours. 2 hours, 16 minutes. I think I'm going to call it there. Hey, it's been fun to be back here. I have all this, so obviously I'm going to be back, you know? We've unredacted some stuff. We'll probably do another one of these some other time. It will be more like this. So, yes, it is boring. Yes. But yes. Also, I'll try to give you more of a heads up. Keep an eye out tomorrow. I'll see, hopefully by like midday, I'll know what's going on tomorrow. And then Judy and I might stream. There's a box apparently I have to open. Which, you know, there's like a contest that's happening. I don't know the details. But what did we learn today? What did we learn today? Nothing. We learned that unredacted documents takes a lot. Let's find DB Cooper. We're not going to find DB Cooper. People have tried. It's, oh boy. But yes, DB Cooper's fun. It's a fun thing. It's local. I mean, you know. Box, says Griff Guy. Made the dog bark. I didn't miss anything, right? No, I don't think I missed anything. Checking the chat. Okay, Mark. And with that, I'm out of here. Ladies and gentlemen, until the next time, first of all, it's been wonderful. Thank you so much. It's great to see you all again. Thanks. Some of you I haven't seen in a very long time. I mean, all of you I haven't seen in a very long time, but like some of you, even for like normal, I haven't seen in a very long time. And it's been good. Thank you. Some of you were incredibly generous. All of you were generous with your time. Some of you were generous with your money. I don't know why. I'm not against it. It's always appreciated. I appreciate the support because it helps fund weird things like this. But and other things that are happening in my life. If you know, you know. I'm not going to get into the details. August 30th. Anyway, there's stuff where if you know, you know. Both out of the way. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much. And as always, until the next time, be good, stay safe. Oh yeah, thank you, Judy. Hit the like button on your way out if you want to. It's not mandatory, but it is appreciated. It helps with something. I don't know how the algorithm works. I don't pay that much attention to it. But maybe I should. I don't know. I do what I do here because I enjoy doing it. And I'm glad that you also enjoy being a part of it. So, it's out of the way. Until next time, you can stay safe, etc., etc. Toodles! Rivka, are you calling me cheap? I see. Lisa, I'll try. Is this soon enough? Did I come back soon enough? Okay, for real this time. Bye.